Welcome back to our channel, where we share valuable insights and tips for professionals in the tech world. In today's video, we are going to discuss some essential tips for aspiring project managers and Scrum Masters who are preparing to crack interviews. So, if you are ready to boost your interview preparation, let's get started. And yes, if you find this video useful, please like and share with your friends and colleagues who might be looking for a change. So, tip number one is understand the Scrum framework. Make sure you have a strong grasp of the Scrum principles, rules, and ceremonies. Be very comfortable with these key concepts, such as sprints, backlogs, role of the Scrum Master. Please allow me to show few examples. There are many more such questions on this website. If you want to explore, you can visit this. I have left the link in the description. These questions are not only real interview questions, but also designed to help you in learning or refreshing Scrum and project management fundamentals, which is critical if you are looking to crack these interviews. Tip number two, prepare for situational questions. Something like, if you are doing this, this happens, how will you react? Project managers or Scrum Masters often face real world challenges while executing a project. So, practice answering these questions that assess your experience and ability to handle challenges specific to the role. For example, practice questions related to risk management. And when I say practice, I mean write it down. Most people struggle to articulate their answer because they are trying to come up with an answer in the interview itself, whereas you should have written and practiced these questions way before these interviews. Writing especially helps because it helps in cementing these concepts. So, if you have written answers to, let's say, 10 such questions, and if something comes up in interview, even if you need to mix and match, lift something from this question or that question, you will be able to do that quite easily without fumbling. That is the most important part. So, practice very well. Tip number three, which is the most important tip, is showcase your communication and facilitation skills. For a project manager or a Scrum Master, effective communication and facilitation are essential. That's what you do most of the time. Highlight your ability to communicate clearly, listen actively, and facilitate. In fact, that's why I earlier recommended to write down your answers so that your communication in interview itself is clear. Even if you're answering everything right, but if in the interview your communication is not good, you won't be able to crack the interview. Simply because any project manager, agile or not, that's what you do most of the time. Communication is most important skill for a project manager or a scrum master. And then, of course, you need to demonstrate your knowledge of agile practices. When I say agile practices, I mean you should have a broader understanding of the field and not just Scrum specific domain knowledge. So you should have really good understanding of agile practices and project management fundamentals. Let me highlight, a lot of time when people talk about Scrum Master role, they only focus on Scrum, which should not be the case. Scrum is just one part of the agile world or software development world. Project management is a larger domain where in last few years Scrum and other agile methodologies have gained a lot of traction. Scrum is probably by far the most popular choice. Therefore, you will see tons of Scrum Master openings in the market, but it doesn't mean that you can go to such interviews without learning or understanding project management principles. Project management is key. Any good company, even if they are hiring for Scrum Master, they will always test your project management knowledge. So, showcase your understanding of project management and agile principles. Depending upon the position, your scope of position may vary, where let's say a junior level Scrum Master will focus on day to day execution or operation, like resolving impediments, whereas a senior level Scrum Master or agile project manager will also handle risk issues, assumptions, dependencies, stakeholders, etc. So that's why I'm trying to highlight that always focus on project management as well as Scrum fundamentals. And as we are talking about leadership roles, Scrum Master, Project Manager, these are essentially leadership roles. A lot of time, people management roles. So you need to emphasize on your leadership qualities. Scrum Masters are servant leaders who support team and remove obstacles. So you need to highlight your empathy, humility, dedication to serving the team's needs. You should come across as someone who is having empathy towards the team rather than somebody who just, operates with brute force or power. So don't try to answer any such question where you are trying to highlight that you will force people to do something. You should try to, your answer should be in line where you are saying that you are trying to motivate people, you are trying to convince people, you are trying to understand their problems, and based on their problems, you are coming up with a solution. Something like that. That's why these things doesn't come easy, and it's very important to practice answering these questions. In addition to these leadership qualities, the extension of it will be conflict resolution and problem solving skills. Scrum Masters and project managers spend a lot of time handling conflicts and challenges. Explain how you will approach conflict resolution. They might directly ask you. That's why if you visit this website, you'll find questions which are directly touching upon these subjects. And of course, in today's world, you have to demonstrate adaptability and flexibility. So practice the answers where you show how you were able to pivot or quickly move in some direction, change your direction, and take your project towards success. So they will specifically ask, I'm pretty certain they will ask you about the projects where you have failed. So you need to highlight what kind of project was there, what kind of issues were there. And yes, when you answer these questions effectively, you are essentially communicating that you have humility, you are able to accept your responsibilities, you are owning your mistakes. So there is no shame in sharing such instances. So don't think that if they ask you a question about, let's say, share a project which failed, and then you are responding by saying that I have never failed. So that won't help you. Even if you are lucky and all of your project have been a success, I'll suggest you to come up with an answer which talks about a project where you struggled. And the last tip is learn about the company and the specific position, whether the company is a services, product, finance domain, manufacturing, pharmaceutical, technology. A lot of these things will determine how you should approach that position. Fortunately, in case of Scrum Master or project management in general, a lot of these skills are transferable. So they are not essentially looking for domain knowledge unless until some specific project. So if you can showcase that, you will be able to crack your interview. And in order to do that effectively, you should practice. And that's why I've mentioned write down your answers, because when you write it down, it imprints the answer in your brain. You don't need to remember it, it will just be there. So start writing, whether you use this website or any other website or any other tool. Get the real Scrum Master and Project Manager questions and start writing their answers and practice as much as you can. Okay? So that's it for now. I have left the links in the description. You can refer to them if you want. And if you have found this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Thank you for watching.